Bishr al Haafi rahmatullahi alayhi, Haafi means barefoot, because he had his mizaj that he never used to wear shoes because of the ayah, وَالْأَرْضَ فَرَشْنَاهَا فَنِعْمَ الْمَاهِدُونَ. So he said, Allah Ta'ala says he spread the earth out as a carpet. So out of respect, he never used to wear shoes when he walked. He was one of the shuyukh of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahmatullahi alayhi. But his journey to sainthood, it happened a bit later. In his early days, he had a habit of drinking, and he used to just get smashed all the time. So what happened one day, he was walking out in the marketplace, and he found a piece of paper that said Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, the name of Allah on the floor. So he picked it up, and he didn't like the fact that Allah Ta'ala's name was on the floor. So he picked it up and he went to the marketplace and he bought a piece of velvet cloth and he wrapped it up and he went home and put it up on the shelf. And then he found that he didn't have any money left to buy his liquor. So he thought, I should just make tawbah instead. So then, when he slept in the night, he had a dream. A munadi, an angel, called out on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and said that, "Oh Bishr, you honored my name, so now I will honor your name." So then the next morning, all of the people, all of the awliya and the Sufiya Kiram, they came from outside of the city and they came to the area. They started asking people, where's Bishr? Where's Bishr? And someone said that, why you guys are pious. Why are you asking for him? He's an alcoholic. And they said, no, you don't understand. Last night in our dream, all of us were told to come and meet him because he's a person whose supplication will be accepted. So Allah Ta'ala, he took him literally from zero to hero. Why? Because he had reverence, ta'zeem. Allah Ta'ala, he says, وَمَن يُعَذِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِن تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. That those people who have ta'zeem, reverence, who have reverence for the symbols of Allah, then this is from the piety of the heart. And this is something which unfortunately we are very distant from nowadays. So from a young age we tell the young children in the maktab that don't place the Quran on the floor, don't place the kitabs on the floor, anything which has the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it should be kept high up on the shelf. Even another thing that just came in my mind, my teacher Sheikh Bilal, may Allah Ta'ala preserve him, he used to explain in Dars that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to have a stamp on his ring. I'm sure you've all seen it. It says Allah Rasul Muhammad. So when he would stamp his letters, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, obviously back now we sign digitally, everything's online. But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would stamp the letter, and it should say Muhammadur Rasulullah, but it would be backward, Allah Rasul Muhammad. So why? My teacher Sheikh Bilal, may Allah Ta'ala preserve him, he explains that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't want his name to be above the name of Allah. Again, it's not a question about is it fard or not, it's about adab, simply having adab. And we're very distant from this understanding nowadays. You go to Makkah and you go to Medina, na'udhu billah, people put the Quran on the shurak. Simple things, like not touching the Quran without wudu. Imam Maulana Anwar Shah Kashmiri rahmatullahi alayhi, if you ask, I'm sure Hazrat can enlighten us, he literally had a photographic memory to the point he memorized so many books, to the point they called him a walking library. So someone asked him that, Hazrat, what is it that you've done that Allah Ta'ala gave you such a blessed and such a photographic memory? He says, I never ever touched any book without wudu. If I ever had a book of tafsir or a book of hadith, I always made sure that the Quran was on top. So simple things, adab, respect for the symbols of Allah, for the things associated to knowledge, even the pens. In Darul Bari, there's one teacher, they refer to him as Sufi Sahib, Maulana Tahir Wadi. He's the son of the Marhum Maulana Ismail Wadi rahmatullahi alayhi. So he says in Saharanpur when he was studying, he never even used to enter the classroom without wudu. Again, not a question about sunnah or bid'ah. In fact, on the way, Qari Zaid and I were talking, and he was saying that, a lot of people, they recite the Quran nowadays on the phone. And then there's the masla that, is it permissible to recite from the Quran and hold the Quran on the phone without wudu? It is. It's permissible. No one's saying it's not permissible, but adab. When you go away from the mushaf and go onto the digital screen, because you don't need wudu, now there's this, this disappearing of adab. That it's fine, I can recite the Quran without wudu, I can touch the Quran without wudu. So look, these great imams, the reason Allah Ta'ala gave them such a lofty status was because they had ta'zeem. We ask Allah Ta'ala to give us the correct understanding.